The lights are off and away they go.
Extremely loose. He's managed to hold on. I think he missed the complete that. He's crazy stuff.
Side Freitas is on the grass on the infield for 4. He slides through. He tags Richard Eck.
Here is where the drama starts. Lap 30, 8 laps to go. Sandobi hoping to take advantage of these lapped cars. Poleski goes, dives onto the right side. Very aggressive here. This is lap 4. The two Viceroys. Bill Frazier ahead of Matt Poleski. Frazier's off. Frazier hit the grass. You hit that tire wall, your day is done. Well, now it's lap 20. The Williams still trying to get around the Terrell team as he'll go around the lap car and around Mills at the same time. At the same time. He's got the inside corner. Will he ride the curb? Yes, he will. He will get him on the inside. Vita Maria leading us all into Moss's corner. Look at the beauty. As his right side will clip the grass a little. A 180. No, a 360. Oh. Who will yield going into this corner? It's really not meant for too wide as it will be Gernald. Gernald will yield. Lots of smoke picking up from that Williams car. He is pushing it to the absolute limit. 26 of 30 now. Only 4 laps to go. He's going to get the run coming out the final corner. He's going to pull up side by side with the leader. It's going to be a drag race to the finish. Who is going to get there first? It's going to be...
The true beauty of racing often lies within hidden gems in both drivers and circuits, often severely underrated and often overlooked as well. Lexington, Ohio then will play host to the CTC Lotus 79 official series racing today, marking 1/3 distance in the championship. We are streaming live on the Global Sim Racing channel and also on iRacing Live. Well, we'll work out what track conditions are in just a few moments' time. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Hashtag do you mind? Jake Sperry here in the commentary booth, joined as ever by Crackers, Sean Ambrose, Joe Peake, sitting behind the desk as director, with the great Dougie Beard, producing the sensational shots around this 2.25-mile circuit. We managed to mark 25% of the season complete last weekend at Road America as Nuno Moreira returned to form to collect the victory, his second of the season. However, he didn't have everything his own way, being plagued with fuel issues, which allowed championship leader Gernot Frisch to scrape and claw the gap back to 1 second before the checkered flag. Of course, that gap was over 6 seconds at the halfway stage. Dawn, it's roles reversed here in the GSRC booth, and Mid-Ohio is a massive hit-and-miss track for drivers. Some adore it, others hate it with a passion. But what we all know is that it might have to take some genius to pull off the final pass of the afternoon.
Jake, we love this track here in Lexington, Ohio. The Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course opened in 1962, sir, and this 13-turn circuit is a beast. Great overtaking opportunities down in turn 1, in the keyhole, that which of course is turn 2. China Beach, the trip into China Beach, watch out, you're going to see them too wide heading down there fighting for position all day. And listen, the carousel could cause trouble. Yeah, that's an off-camber carousel there, and linked with pit lane. If you get any damage, you've got to have to get off quick into the pit lane there. But this is going to be a fun race today. I can't wait to watch it. 13 turns, and we can get a really good view inside the cockpit of the Lotus 79 right now.
All right, we've got Amjad Yaman to the GSRC Lotus 79, so let's do a lap around Mid-Ohio. Coming down to turn 1, this is going to be a very quick corner, which means when it goes wrong here, it will go wrong in a hurry. Try to carry your speed off the exit, because as we climb uphill, we head towards a good overtaking spot, the keyhole. This 180-degree bend can be tough because there's a little rise in the middle of it. Like most hairpins, it's best to square off the exit, and especially here, it'll be important to keep yourself safe from an attack. Now you hit the back straight, which is the longest acceleration zone of the whole track. Straighten out the kink, drift back to the left, and then line up your braking for China Beach. If someone defends to the inside, don't worry, because if you can hold on around the outside, sometimes it's possible to finish the pass on the entry into Madness where the track switches back. From here, the circuit gets slow and technical, so throttle control will be an important skill. You can see through the S's you're tiptoeing over the hill. Turn 9 in particular really requires you to keep the car planted since you're turning and braking at the same time. Try to straighten the track out on the entry to Thunder Valley to allow you an easier time getting to the power. Then you're quickly into turn 11. This blind turn isn't easy even in the high downforce Lotus, causing lots of understeer. Shortly after, you're braking for the carousel, which is probably best if you swing wide to help late apex it. Ease back onto the power through the final left-hand kink, and if you kept it together, you've now finished a lap around Mid-Ohio.
A fantastic lap then we have seen around this Mid-Ohio sports car course. Of course, very famous for its roles in IndyCar and as such. Race details then, let's see what they look like then on the screen. Rounds 4 of 12, the 1/3 distance. This Lotus 79 always looking to be a course to really get itself beneficial and moving forward. Open setup here. That changes quite a bit when all is said and done around this circuit, due to the fact that you look at this and you think that not everyone has the same sort of feel, the same sort of way they get themselves through the corners. That is going to be all about how they deal and negotiate, and crucially, no stoppages for fuel. Anyone coming down onto the lane has damage or has a penalty to serve. Drawn is 26 laps around here today. That's going to be a very crucial matter of fact here. No, in fact, it's 35 laps around here today. My apologies. 35 laps around here. It's a long slog. You're going through this all the time. Every corner approaches up on you as quickly as the last. It takes a lot of mental strength.
It really does, Jake. You know, today there will be only local yellows. That means we won't be stopping and starting this race again at any point. We'll be full out now. Incident Cat 17X's 17 incidents, very important here because there's lots of opportunities to get that off course. That 1X put a tire off, and those incidents will rack up quick if you're not careful. 35 laps around here, Jake. That will be a challenge for some here towards the back of the field. Fast repairs, forget about it. Now, there is a lot of good runoff here, but with the side-by-side racing we'll see today, man, if you get hooked up with somebody, damage is going to be just a terrible thing to have to try and overcome. Now, they do use the iRacing official point system. Now, let's talk about the weather today here, Jake, real quick, okay? The very, very hot track. I'm seeing here on screen now, it's 109 degrees Fahrenheit on track. That means it's probably going to be a little slick getting around here today under partly cloudy conditions and 82 degrees outside.
Yeah, we might see here a bit of understeer coming into play, and of course a driver will prefer oversteer to understeer, mainly because they have the ability to control where the car is going when all is said and done. Let's take a look though then at your championship points as things stand, and well, as the standings go, it is Gernot Frisch then who is there by means of consistency at the moment, ahead of Nuno Moreira here. And Sean, what has to be duly noted about this situation is that within our live broadcast, Gernot's had 3 second places. He's been unable to score the big victory so far. But because of that, do you feel that he's in a situation where, you know, his big chance is coming now that he's got the lead in the championship?
Well, Jake, he did win the race about an hour ago. I'd say he's off to a good start today if he wants to win this one. I think this might be the day.
It certainly could be the day when all is said and done for him. Alex Saunders drops down to third. Fourth at the moment in championship is Matt Wood running the McLaren livery, and it's Gerd Hofner there, Hoferer even, who is there in fifth position. But now onto the CTC Aurora team standings right now, and they look completely different from everything else, mainly because they don't run here in a situation of being you score your points all the time. You run an average for the season. So you look at it, it's a tie at the top right now. Akale Ruokola with Tapane Lina Luoto there, both on 196. Junius Peheka with his win got 192. And, you know, when you look at these drivers who are up there, Ruokola, Lina Luoto, Sean, when you see the likes of Gernot and Nuno and the results they've been getting, those two drivers, those three drivers even, would have been up there in the championship fighting for it with them. But you know, with dominance in other areas, how will drivers like Ruokola and Lina Luto be approaching today's racing?
I think they're going to be approaching it just like they have through the previous rounds here, and they will go as hard and as fast as they can because there's a lot at stake for them. They can be promoted up to one of the Formula One teams during this championship if spots are open. So keeping that average up is that's how you get there. Climb the ladder.
Certainly is, and well, we can also see the Constructors' Championship then up on your screen. Although they're all Lotus 79s, one of the great things about this championship is that you will see here drivers consistently pushing to get themselves into the top teams, such as a Parmalat Brabham, a Scuderia Ferrari, or an Elf Tyrrell as well. Realistically lined up to the 1978 Formula One World Championship, won by Mario Andretti and the John Player Special Lotus right now. And Sean, what has to be seen here, Ferrari hold that because of Gernot Frisch, but Ligier have been waiting very patiently in the wings with Nuno Moreira there in tow.
Yes, they are lying in wait and coming on every week. This could be the week to take the top step for Ligier.
Yeah, it really could right now. We are in the midst of qualifying right now. Times are coming in on your screen. 8 minutes here of qualifying, only 2 laps. Gernot Frisch is on another lap, but he's already got the pole position right now as he's heading himself now through this difficult SS section. Right-hander up the hill. Thunder Valley approaches then for him then. Here does the number 1 machine. A very difficult right with a blind left-hander, which is so difficult to make the move on. Here's the final corner of the carousel. 1:13.2 is time at the moment here, and Juhanora Lampi goes up into second position in the number 8 machine. Frisch to the line here, Sean, and he's not threatened at the moment. Can he go quicker to set a marker? No, he can't. That lap was not good enough.
Well, the one he laid down pretty, the fast one was certainly a pretty hot lap. I got to be honest with you. I know that the record here, the real world record here was in an Indy car, and it's 1:03.2. That's not bad. A 1:13.2 here in a Lotus 79. I'm pretty impressed.
I'd certainly be impressed as well with the times that we have seen right now. Jamie Hall has into the car then on his lap. He had a spin through the SS section, through that mid part of the lap there. And you can see he dives himself onto that very difficult pit lane. It's grass on the left, grass on the right. And Sean, when you're coming down onto that pit lane, grass on the left, grass on the right, you get very, very nervous because one tyre wrong, especially with those thick rear tyres, it means that it could lead yourself into a situation where it ends with you in the wall blocking pit entry.
Yeah, oh boy, and that's wedged in there at pit entry, blocking that. If anybody else is having to get off, that could just be a total parking lot.
Yeah, it certainly could here, and it seems that for the moment here, everyone except one driver, being John Stevens right now, is going to try and get himself onto a lap, get a little bit of practice in, but for the time being, that will be qualifying over. We don't see anybody else here who can really set a lap time here, so this is how your grid is going to look then from your top 10 down. It's Jarno Frisch then who holds himself in the lead of the championship right now, and in the lead in terms of this one overall, a 1:13.248, half a tenth clear of Juha Noralampi in second.
Row 2 is going to find Nuno Moreira there in third. Alex Saunders today will start fourth.
Fifth in the championship, fifth on the grid. Gerd Hofferer there is there alongside a new face that we've seen here to this Lotus 79 in the form of Evan Merrill. Evan Merrill, of course, formerly part of the Hugh Jass team.
All right, and then we will go back to the next New York driver, Andrea Ventura there in seventh, and Matt Wood rounding out row 4 and 8th.
Michel Vandenberg then will start ninth on a 1:13.913. He'll be joined by Richard Borchers.
All right, and we'll go to row 6, and that's going to be Kalle Ruokola in 11th, and Philip Blake will start 12th today.
John Stevens then has finished all his laps just now. He will start then in position number 13 as the grid then, or for qualifying, finishes. AJ Bear is there in 14th.
Row 8, Jamie Hall 15th, Thorsten Kahl 16th.
There you got Nicola Kochi there with Mark Muck in 18th.
And row 10, Daniel Banker, QC Clapp.
Robin Simpkins then, you can see in 21st with Francisco Javier Gutierrez in 22nd. I'll just run down the rest of the grid, boy. You got Pablo Lumbrera Suarez with Lino Duprat, João Milani there in what is 25th with Peter Conenci there, Timothy Dalton there with Matt Carballo, and 3 cars fading to set times in Nick Kamensky, Marcus Kramer, and also Joseph Wheatley as well. Gridding process time is here. 2 minutes then here to get yourself gridded up onto this starting grid. Otherwise, you will be starting from a place known as pit road, and nobody wants to be starting from the back of the field. Turn 1 has its opportunities, but it's all about that run to 2, that run to 4, that we will be seeing those overtaking opportunities come into effect. Ruokola surprisingly down the order in 11th position on the grid. A poor qualifying by his standards for the leader of what is this, a Raw Championship, and if his average drops, he will lose that one to Lina Luoto here, who by my reckoning is not here at the moment. You can hear engine noises getting really aggressive here in the early stages of this event. Starting third here is Nuno Moreira, and he will be looking to try and get himself into the championship fight then in the number 7 machine to get himself back going forward in terms of this event to challenge Jarno Frisch. Engine notes will start to rise though. Round 4 of the CTC Lotus 79 Championship is underway. It's a good start by Jarno Frisch. Noralampi will move to the left-hand side instantly here on Nuno Moreira. Moreira dives one down to the inside, but he has to back out of it then. Saunders might get the opportunity as they're too wide behind in the middle of the pack for the moment. And you can see here, everyone just trying to settle themselves out. No real dramas or instance as of yet, but the big overtaking opportunity comes down into this next section. Frisch is away here, Sean, but you can see it's going to be Nuno Moreira now trying to make the challenge.
Moreira on the charge up front there indeed. Everybody behind doing okay here as they head through the speed trap side by side.
Yeah, they do it. You can see to the outside tries Nuno Moreira. Evan Merrill also tries down the inside contact, though, further back, and that's Andrea Ventura and Richard Borchers. Then Borchers turned around at China Beach, needing to try and reverse the car. He's lucky
more trouble.
that he hasn't come on. Yeah, more trouble there, coming back onto oncoming traffic there. You can see there it's Peter Kijenchi then getting involved. Matt Caballo there involved in that one as well, in what seems to be a Jaguar-esque type livery there that we're seeing. Lino Duprat even getting involved. It will be worth getting a replay at some stage to see exactly what has happened with that one, Sean. That one was just a slow, delayed incident at the off-camber corners.
Yeah, it really was. I know Pablo Suarez was one of those drivers. We do have it marked, and we'll get back to it.
Yeah,
a lot of cars slogging through that.
Yeah, they certainly did here slog through it, but it now just starts to calm down after the first lap of 35. Journo Frisch already with a 1 second window, and we were talking about how he got that victory in that race prior to here to this afternoon. Nora Lampe in second, Nuno Moreira, who was really off the pace in that last one, really now getting himself back through. It is worth checking out where Kai Ruokola is, because he's already up 3 positions right now here, Sean, looking on the back of Matt Wood here, and it's also worth noting that Ruokola was second in the race prior to this, really chasing down Journo Frisch.
Yeah, it was a great battle between Ruokola and Journo Frisch in that last race, and now Ruokola looking to get position here on Matt Wood and breaks a little bit deeper here, heading through the jump.
Yeah, and he's not going to be quite close enough at the moment here as cars are looking to try and battle QC Flap here in the 22. Jamie Hall in the 17. And you can see QC Flap's going to let the position go here to the driver of Jamie Hall. He recognises that he's a quicker driver and says, I don't want to be fighting you through this section. So Jamie Hall gets himself up a position then and back into 16th on circuit. He's -1 for the day in terms of where he needs to be. One car on pit road right now is Pablo Lumbreras Suarez. His day is all but done here, Sean, and that's the last thing he would have wanted.
Yeah, and that happened on that lap 1 incident back there. And yeah, I think that car is going to be done. There was a lot of damage on that machine.
Yeah, there certainly was here as you're seeing the early stages moving forward in this event. Evan Merrill is really being quite interesting as a driver. A little bit of an unknown factor here in this Lotus 79, but deciding that he can be a good influence here as he is still sitting in 5th position. He's managed to get the position on Gerd Hoferer right now here, Sean. And for Hoferer's championship battles, all his rivals are pretty much ahead of him here, except for Matt Wood, who is 1 position behind. That doesn't help him gain any places forward.
No, it doesn't, and it's going to have to get busy here. Nuno Moreira up front, really putting the pressure on Juha Noralampi right now, and starting to get. I've had a nervous moment or two here watching those two go at it.
Yeah, you certainly have seen those nervous moments starting to take their effect. As you can see, the battle for second position has always been hotting up in this one. Moreira, Nora Lampe, 2 very, very quick drivers then to start lap 4 of the event in through turn number 1 under the bridge, and you can see it's so easy just to run wide, and you've got not much to work with when you get onto the grass. Not going to be taking that chicane, so they head to the keyhole, turn number 2 on the circuit. You can see you run that weathered in, re-tarmac little bit of surface there on the inside to really work out where the racing line is. Such how much has the circuit been used there, but it's worth trying to go back and seeing just how that start came to effect there, Sean. It was a fantastic start that we saw for Journo Frisch.
It really was, and much like the start Journo had it in the last race, and did exactly what he needed to separate himself from this field. And well, and I'd say 2 seconds already, 4 laps in, pretty good stuff.
Pretty good. Yeah, pretty good stuff indeed. We'll now get that replay then up on screen for you right now. This was exactly what was going on in that opening lap of the event. As you can see, just going to pop up on your screen, and it was coming down into China Beach, where you're saying it was always going to be a very, very difficult section to be working with. This is Lino de Prada we're looking at here, the Club Texas driver. You can see there was the incident in front of him, Sean, coming in through the corner, but it piles up again on the outside, and it just meant that when coming back onto circuit, it all just continues on.
Yeah, it does, and it collected a lot of cars, but a lot of cars drove through it, and they're still out there battling with a little bit of damage on those machines. That's going to make it tough for them to compete throughout the remainder of this race. It also could be really tricky when getting by them for our leaders.
Matt Wood has lost the position away from our screens. He's lost the position to Kali Ruokola here, and Ruokola is really on that charge then, has Gerd Hoferer and Evan Merrill just in front, but now it's a 3-car train in the battle for the final spots on the podium here. Saunders now on the back of Moreira, on the back of Nora Lampe. This second part of the circuit here, Sean, it's so difficult to overtake. It's pretty much one line suits all here, and that has been the issue here for these drivers. They've been unable to really make that move matter.
Yeah, they have, and what you're hoping for is the guy in front of you to make a mistake, and let's face it, with the drivers we've got up here right now, mistakes are few and far between. If that's your gamble, it may not pay off for you in the end.
Yeah, certainly may not pay off for you in the end, but what you need to do is stay within a window here. Car down onto the lane right now is the driver of AJ Bear. So AJ Bear not quite being the phenomenal one here this afternoon. He's going to be dropping himself down a multitude of positions to try and get himself back going again. We still have some great battles in the middle of your pack. Nicola Kochi here trying to get past John Stevens in the 18. We saw him out very late in qualifying, and a little wiggle there through turn number 1 for John Stevens in the 18 in 12th position right now. Kochi all over the back, looks to the inside, then down at the keyhole, sends one down the inside and turns the man. Wow. John Stevens turned around by Nicola Kochi. Both lose positions there. A bit of rear wing troubles then looking out for John Stevens. And in my opinion there, Sean, as we were looking at that, he was trying to be a little bit greedy there, was Kochi down the inside to take another position. I didn't think the gap was quite there.
It disappeared quickly, didn't it? I don't think it was there.
Yeah, it certainly did disappear in terms of that incident there that we have just seen. But, you know, status quo is pretty much resumed here for the drivers at the front of this field right now. Hofer has lost the position now to Ruakola. Ruakola, it seems every time we come back to him, he's made another position. Deadly silent finish assassin here, Sean.
And Ruakola was wheel to wheel with Jerd. A little bit of contact making that move to get it done, but get it done indeed. Up to 6th, and now Evan Merrill is looking at the mirror going, man, what am I going to do with this?
Certainly is right now, and you're looking at the times coming through. 14.1 from your leader, Journo Frisch, 14.1 for Nora Lampia, 14.4 that time from Moreira, and a 14.6 from Saunders. You know, the gaps aren't going away. Everyone has a bit of draft. We've seen this in the opening stages right now. And now Matt Wood wants to try and get back past Jerd Hofer right now. Gets a fantastic run here. Will move to the inside as they come towards China Beach. But he can't get that one on the brakes then. Fantastically held around the outside by Hofer. He holds on to the position of 7th even for the moment.
Yeah, I think Jerd it was still a little rattled from that pass by Ruakola, and took a little while for Jerd to kind of get back up to speed and back on it. Looks like things have recovered well for the Renault.
Yeah, it certainly has here. And look at this, nose to tail. Michel Vandenberg in the 9, Andrea Ventura in the 11 right now. Ventura, of course, in that Aurora Championship position number 4 overall in that. Had a few issues and runs a little bit wide there, and that's going to severely compromise the run here through the carousel. You can see just how they check up to about 60 miles an hour before going through. Also, it is worth noting that the definition of carousel is a 180-degree left or right-hander, which doesn't necessarily have to be classed as a hairpin or not. So Ventura struggling like he did last time out there, Sean.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. We did see that struggle, and it seems to be an issue again. That could be that's the difference between being a champion and being almost right there, is that consistency.
Certainly is, and the cars that we have out of this event right now are Marcus Kramer, Pablo Lumbrera Suarez, Robert Simpkins, and also AJ Bear is there stuck down on pit road. I believe his day is going to be all but done as things stand right now. But you know, we're looking here. Evan Merrill is now under a lot of threat here from Ruakola. He's sitting there. He's waiting to pick his moment right now, Sean. And we're seeing that turn 2 seems to be a good example. China Beach seems to be the prime opportunity. Heading towards the carousel once again. This big right-hander, you can see they move away from the apex to hit the second one around here. And there's this small little kink left there on the power. You can easily lose it there if you're not too careful.
Ruakola still has a really good opportunity to catch a podium spot here, but is going to have to be careful with this pass on Merrill, because Merrill's shown really good pace and consistency to start this race. Ruakola now making a hard charge down there into the keyhole. Maybe look to make a pass here up through the speed trap if Ruakola can get close enough. Yeah, Merrill got a good run off there.
Merrill did get a good run. He's got a little bit of draft to help him here. Ruakola is not going to be close enough then down into the China Beach here on lap number 9 of 35. He gets close, but not quite close enough then. As you can see, it's a horrible corner there, that turn number 5. It's the epitome of this circuit. You are up and down left to right. Oh, huge wiggle then from the driver of Evan Merrill. 2 wiggles, but you can see Ruakola can't do anything in that section. It's one line suits all, and he can't make the mistake pay for him. So Merrill, a lucky lad.
Very lucky. Great job of saving it. What's going to happen here in the carousel? Oh, man, Ruicola right up on it. Looks for position to the inside, not going to get it. Merrill gets a nice run out of the turn and up the straight.
Yeah, good run for now, but you can see in through turn number 1, the aerodynamic effect coming into play for Ruicola. He gets caught by the dirty little air effects and how the air is bouncing off every single part of that car into the keyhole, and he has to run a little bit wide there to try and open out the exit, and he opens out the exit very, very well here. They're going to get themselves past the IndyCar starting line. They do it differently in IndyCar. They start at turn number 3 and go forward, not at turn number 1. Ruicola now with the chance to move up into P number 5 down the inside, and no questions asked. He gets the position, but Merrill will try the cutback. It's not going to work here through this corner. On the outside again he will try, but no, it's not going to happen for him, Sean.
Ruicola very, very patient. Took about 2 laps to make that move happen, and now Ruicola looking to get to work on Alex Saunders. I imagine that's going to be about... Oh, Saunders with trouble in front of Ruicola right there.
Oh, and Alex Saunders then runs into a big issue then, heading up on towards Thunder Valley. You can see, caught a little bit of the curb on the inside, caught a little bit on the outside, just clipped the grass and spun it around 360. He is lucky he's not touched anything at all in that incident, and the fact that he's only dropped down to 8th position overall for Saunders, that's not what he wanted in terms of the championship, Sean.
Man, wow, we're on board with Saunders right now. Coming down the hill, it gets way off to the left there in the grass, and that was the trouble.
It certainly was a beautiful recovery that we have just seen on that incident. It was one where it could have gone either way, straight back onto the circuit in front of oncoming traffic. It could have happened that he might have clipped the red Armco barrier on the inside of the circuit. He's done well to keep it out of both eventualities, and for Alex Saunders, he lives to fight another day. It promotes Ruicola now up into 4th position overall on circuit, now only 7 seconds behind the leaders. And Sean, you have to remember what happened with Gernot Frisch last time out. He managed to close down Nuno Moreira by 6 seconds in the second half of the race. We're not even at halfway in this event, and Ruicola is waiting. Now needs to find 3 seconds to Moreira.
And I think Ruicola is going to get that 3 seconds, because the field is going to start to come up on traffic here really soon. In the next couple of laps, we're going to start having to fight through some traffic. And as we saw in the previous race today, there was a little bit of trouble getting through this traffic.
Yeah, that has definitely become the case here. It's only a minute 13 around this circuit, and lap traffic will come up a lot quicker than some other circuits around here. And we've seen here drivers trying to make their way through. Jamie Hall has managed to make the position then on the driver of Timothy Dalton. He's actually dropped back a few more positions then during this race. He's made another mistake somewhere, has the driver of Jamie Hall. He's looking to try and catch down the drivers here that are in a battle, like Daniel Banker and John Stevens here. Stevens making that recovery as we saw earlier on here, Sean, and right now maybe a little bit of damage on that vehicle. Just going to take a look here to see what's wrong with it. The rear wing is bent and buckled. That is not going to be helping the straight line speed.
Not at all, and you need that straight line of speed here, especially off of turn 2 all the way down into China Beach. That is really that is your best opportunity to really take advantage of your opponent, and without that straight line speed, you're done.
Certainly are around here. We're seeing Andrea Ventura in the 11 still waiting to try and make a move here on Michel Vandenberg here in the number 9 machine. He's done a very good job of holding the defensive line, doing all that he needs to do up in through this big left-hander then. The penultimate, well, the third to last corner. This is the carousel, the penultimate corner. Most people think of it as the final corner. Then you got this small kink left here that does all that it needs to do. Traffic is coming into play. It is becoming a factor here. There is Lionel Duprat, who was involved in that lap 1 incident. Frisch will make the way past that. Nora Lampe, Moreira's there. And you can see here just how everyone is just streaming through. The gaps have opened up a little bit here. And for a driver like Ventura, they've got the driver of Philip Lake here just ahead, who is out on his lonesome here to catch.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that about the gaps opening up. They really are all the way around the track right now. Oh, Ruicola had to get by the slow car of Joseph Wheatley and did a good job of getting it done. Wheatley really slow on course, letting all the leaders through right now.
Yeah, Wheatley has to let all the leaders through here. He's got no other option. You can see now lets through Alex Saunders then trying to get through. And it's a big nightmare when you're being lap traffic, especially in such a high-speed car like this, because when you go slow, you get approached so quickly around this circuit. It is very easy to park the car in the wrong position, as I've done a couple of times myself here in the iRacing service here, Sean.
Yeah, Lionel Duprat up there, another one of those drivers having to let everybody by, doing a good job of getting out of the way as the leaders came through here up across the start-finish line.
Certainly did here. It's also good to monitor what gaps Ruicola versus Moreira is doing, and he took another 4/10 there out of the driver and Moreira in that last lap. The gap comes down to about 2.6 seconds on circuit here, Sean, and with about 4/10 he'll be looking to catch in about 6 laps time here in terms of this event, so needs to try and make that move. Philip Lake under a lot of pressure though here, coming out of the keyhole, took a wider line, and look at this, Michel Vandenberg to the inside on the run down to China Beach.
I was getting worried back there, waiting for somebody to make a move. Vandenberg looking to get it done on Lake. To the inside. Oh, got a car running off there. That was a lap car.
That was the aforementioned Joseph Wheatley then, getting out of the way there, and did a very good job of getting out of the way. Position is Vandenberg's there, Sean, and now Chura might have some better luck here with the driver of Philip Lake.
Yeah, Ventura fishing for opportunity there. Oh, boy, really tough exit off the turn for Philip Lake. Ventura stays right with it.
Yeah, he does, but look at the gap, though, at the front of your field. Frisch has had a horrible lap here. Nora Lampe has closed that right down here, and it's back within 2 seconds again now between themselves and Moreira. Maybe there was a lot of traffic to be playing in terms of that effect. Matt Caballo then, maybe just caught him at the wrong point of the circuit there, Crackers, and you have to say, Journo Frisch now under a lot of pressure.
Well, you know, you talked about it several times, Jake, the back half of this circuit, having to get through traffic. A very tough proposition unless they just get off the track in front of you. There is no easy pass back here.
No, there certainly is not an easy pass at all here, especially around this circuit. It does play into its effect, and you do find yourself having to deal with traffic a lot heavier than other places right now. Nora Lampe just sitting there in second position, minding the gap between himself and Nuno Moreira here. Frisch out and away still here as we're heading towards the halfway stage, and you see now Evan Merrill getting caught up behind Carballo, and Carballo, you know, he has every right to hold on to that position, but now he's got to get out of the way here of Evan Merrill, and he finally does so. You can see just how much Merrill was held up then, because Hoferer is now right on the back. That's 2 seconds gone in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, gone so quickly. You can't fault Carabello there. Does a good job of staying out of trouble on board with Jerd here, making that charge. Trying to get that fifth spot for Merrill right up on the gearbox of Merrill.
Merrill trying here just to try and break away, and for the moment he will get that opportunity. No, he won't. Here comes Hoferer then. He'll look to try and do it the long way round at China Beach. Not the ideal way, but Merrill positioned his car very nicely then as they head themselves down onto the brakes. Hoferer will try and hold that outside line, but it won't work here. Maybe send a nose down here into this next left-hander. He'll try, and he gets a big sideways drift there heading through the mid part of China Beach. Not the way you want to do it, but he stays behind for now.
He gave it a shot. Not that time. Still have some time to get it done.
Still may have a lot of time here. We're just crossing over the halfway stage in about the next 2 laps or so right now. And you can see behind that, there is Alex Saunders and there is Matt Wood there just behind, waiting to get into that top 5 battle then that we're seeing here. Wood under a lot of pressure from the recovering Saunders here. His last lap time was about 3/10 quicker. Now you look at the lap time that's changed again. A 14.7 meets a 15.4, so that's another 7/10 of a second taken off by Alex Saunders. Saunders needs to get these positions here, Sean, because you look at the situation he's in, all his rivals are ahead of him right now.
Yeah, they are, and Saunders driving with a bit of a chip on his shoulder right now, trying to recover from that. Gets a nice run out of the keyhole. Is it enough here to get to Matt Wood before China Beach? I don't think it's going to be.
I don't think it's going to be either. You can see, get yourself onto the brakes and into the right-hander at about 75 miles an hour and under, and he just isn't close enough there. There is the aero push coming into play. Another battle that we're seeing right now. Nicola Kochi trying to get back into this fight then for 12th position. He's now looking to try and get past Mark Mucky here in the 12 machine. Not close enough yet. Down onto the brakes into the right-hand corner of China Beach, going along. And, you know, it's very important to say around this circuit, Sean, this is not a Herman Tilke design track. You don't have an acre of runoff to work with. It's grass all around. If you get offline, you are in a world of hurt.
Yeah, you are in a world of hurt, and the loss of time here is so critical. But again, we talked about how fast these laps are. You'll find yourself a half a lap down with any major off here.
Yeah, you will, and that is going to be a key here. That is starting to come into its own effect right now. Look at this battle, though, going on for about 9th, 10th, 11th. Michel Vandenberg, Philip Lake, Andrea Ventura. They got past the difficult blockade in the road in the form of what was the driver of, I believe, Matt Carballo, and now Ventura has a great run on Lake, but Lake does not have as good of a run here on the driver of Michel Vandenberg. You can see right now the gap coming in, 2/10, 1/10 right now. Ventura will have a look then to the inside then, 5th in your CTC Aurora, and he will get it down the inside. There's contact between the two of them, but they hold it together. That's not what wanted to happen then between the pair of them. Ventura holds the position, but that was a block pass there from the driver of Ventura.
Boy, and I tell you, I think that caused a little bit of a wrinkle there on the right part of the wing there of Ventura's car.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, you can certainly see it's bent up there, Sean, as he heads himself through the right hand. You can see, there's a lot of a wiggle then going through that. You can see just how much time he's lost then just by that instant alone. Vandenberg is gone from that group just ahead of him, so that's not what Ventura wanted. He's now got to work doubly hard, especially with that bent upper wing.
Yeah, and that's going to be tough. Again, the downforce, a problem there. It could get tricky down here in the keyhole.
It certainly could, and while looking at the times here, Jerno Frisch does a 1:13.8 right now. That is the fastest lap of the event so far, so that is an 8.6, an 8.27. It's faster than the 8.64 that Nora Lampe did then. And, you know, when it does come down to it, though, you look at those front four, it's very, very stable right now, Sean. Ruicola is not closing in here on Nuno Moreira, not in the way that he would have liked to in terms of this race. And it's not enough for him to just say, I can run my laps and hope some mistake happens. He's got to keep on at 100% to try and do the Alain Prost mistake a la Ayrton Senna at Monaco.
Well, you know what? With 16 laps now left to go, I really think our leaders are still going to catch a lot of traffic in front of him here. Ruicola going to have to try and use that to his advantage to get this thing done. I think at this point, I don't know if he's going to make it on just straight speed alone.
No, I don't think he's going to make it on straight speed alone either right now. And you look at the battles towards the back of the pack here of drivers who are getting at it 1 and 2. You got the 15 of Richard Borchers then on the recovery drive. Timothy Dalton there in the number 26. I wonder if there's any Aston Martin jokes we can make with the Lotus. And look at Borchers getting very rowdy behind the back of Dalton right now, and it doesn't matter how much spy material you have, nothing is going to shield yourself from the invisibility cloak of what is Richard Borchers right now. Borchers is desperate for a way through.
Hey, we could maybe even throw out a Flash Gordon reference there for Timothy Dalton,
Maybe we could right now, and you can see Borchers really trying to get around turn number 1. Not going to happen for him just for the moment. Maybe needs the run to the keyhole. Gets a great run out of the corner here. Might have to do it the long way around, and he will. He'll pinch the man down to the inside. He will be stuck. And he gets it around the outside and on the brakes, but he goes too deep through the corner, and they go side by side again. They almost make contact. Left rear to right front, but Borchers gets through then on the driver of Dalton. Dalton, though, back in the stream.
Yeah, right up on it. Dalton looking to make a move. Going to sling to the outside. Going to try and keep position here. Side by side. No. Going to let off. Look to maybe cross over here. Jake? No, not quite yet. Nope. Dalton going to hang back there and accept his fate right now.
Certainly is. He's going to have to hang, and he's going to have to wait right now. Alex Saunders exits the keyhole here in the number 3 machine, currently scored in position number 8, qualified 4th, so he is -4 then for his day so far. You can see it's just everyone has the same ability to use the draft to their advantage. So for Alex Saunders, he can't get any form of benefit here to really make that move happen the way that he would want. It's not working the way that he would have wanted in terms of this situation, but actually looking here at this battle that was going on between 9th and 10th, it's closed back up again. Ventura, for all the issues he's had, Michel Vandenberg hasn't been able to get away here, Sean.
No, Vandenberg has not been able to get away. What they did was get away from Philip Blake. And now this battle, just 2 cars, and Vandenberg doing a good job of playing enough defense to keep Ventura at bay.
Jamie Hall down the inside, then into China Beach there. Side by side, they're going to continue here with that driver of John Stevens. Stevens struggling with that rear wing. Hall has the inside for turn number 6. No, it's not quite enough for Jamie Hall, and he's being very much frustrated here down in 18th position, Sean. And you can see he already loses half a second just by being out of position.
Morera has caught Norlampi and almost made the move on him, Jake, back in the keyhole. Norlampi really under pressure now, though. Probably the most pressure he's been under this entire race.
And if they keep on fighting this situation in the second half of this event, with just 13 laps to go when they next cross the line, it will bring Ruicola back into the fight here. Nuno Moreira needs second here to minimize the damage done by Journo Frisch, the driver who is still yet to get that win. But in that lap there, you can see just how much time Moreira has lost compared to the driver of Nora Lampe. Nora Lampe has found that extra gear there to just shift into, Sean, and that was the warning that Nora Lampe needed to just say, nope, I'm just going to extend that gap and manage it again.
Watching Nick Kamensky on screen, his off, coming down the hill, got a little bit too much to the left of the yellow curbing there, and that sends the car across the track and into the barrier you just saw there. Back on with Nora Lampe.
We got a spinner, though. We got a spinner in the form of what I believe was Matt Wood coming out to the final corner.
Ooh, yeah.
It's a horrible one.
Oh,
Gets himself
boy.
onto the power, and he just loops the back end and hits the inside pit wall. Not what you want to do, and you see what sort of positions he's lost. Now you can see Ventura trying to get both of them into turn number 2. He'll hold it around the outside, get the run through 3, but Vandenberg will get both of them on the draft, will he? No, he backs out.
And you saw seeing the replay there of Matt Wood losing it there in the final turn. Actually, Wood lost it in the carousel and then lost it again off the final turn there. Boy, big damage, and still battling, though, hanging in there with Andrea Ventura.
Yeah, he is right now. You can see just how heavily that front right is just bent up. It's not the way that he would like to have seen this in terms of the event going on right now. Lap times go so quickly that it isn't of favour. Look how much Ventura's pulled it away, though, from Matt Wood in that last lap. Vandenberg needs to get by quickly to get back to Ventura. Ventura now has that ability here to just try and break away as quickly as he possibly can right now. We'll have to get past Wheatley once again in terms of this event. Now you look at this event going on, you see the gaps have completely opened up in the middle of your pack. It means that Hoferer and Merrill have got that free breakaway. Saunders, though, having to deal with that and get around it, has lost a lot of time. 2 seconds there, Sean.
Yeah, critical seconds being lost now with just 12 laps to go across the line. You're running out of time here. You better stop losing that time. Back here watching Matt Wood get past again. Now it's Vandenberg getting around Wood in the keyhole. Side by side, Wood fighting a very, very bad handling machine right now, but still making it work.
He's making it work, but how much can you do with 7 deuce? Not much is the answer, and well, for the moment right now, Matt Wood is stuck behind and needs to work to his advantage. Behind that, though, is Philip Lake trying to close in on it, and you look at the lap time Matt Wood just did, it was a 1:18.3. Compare that to the 1:14.8 here going on by that driver of Philip Lake. He's losing 4 seconds a lap here, Sean, just by the effect that is had by that damaged front nose.
Yeah, I don't want to be behind the wheel of that car right now. That's trouble.
It certainly is a lot of trouble that we're seeing here from the driver of Matt Wood. Wood will come across the line again. This time the lap's a little bit better. It was a 1:17 flat then that we see, and that gap is 1 second to the driver of Philip Lake behind. For Matt Wood, that's the championship falling away here. That's an opportunity for points falling away the way that he wouldn't want this one to go right now. And actually we have a great little battle towards the back of this field right now, and you can see of this, there is a 4-car train. Thorsten Kyle, Jamie Hall's got through on Daniel Banker, and also on the driver of John Stevens, desperately trying to hold on to the back of it, Sean.
You said it, desperately trying to hang on. Really working the car over right now, getting everything out of it to get that position. Gonna be tough.
Certainly is going to be tough right now. Thorsten Kyle gets a good run out of the keyhole, then the run through towards turn number 3. It's a small little kink right then that you're going to check right about now. There's where the short course meets and gets back going. Now Jamie Hall trying to get back into this one, and for the moment it seems that all 4 of those cars are showing that little bit of damage here. That's not exactly what all 4 of them really need in this situation. Hall trying to run around the outside line. That's not going to be worthy enough to get close enough in terms of this battle, Sean. But for the moment, Jamie Hall, he's had a very up and down day. As soon as he's made positions, he's lost them again.
Well, Jamie still slugging away. You know, I had to check on our leader real quick. Journo Freach just passed a lot of cars. Had to get past Timothy Dalton, Peter Konechny, and Juha Norlampi is now behind them. Little separation there. Going to give a chance for Freach to open it back up a little bit. Juha going to need a little bit of luck getting around these two.
And that will just allow Nuno Moreira to try and close in. You can see catching at the carousel, not the place you want to be catching here. They'll get the blue flag warnings then in the air. Let me pass, please. And you can see one will pull off out of the way there. That's the driver of Konechny right there. Moreira will now try and catch that in a better position to use the draft. Nora Lampe will now try and catch Dalton towards turn number 2 here. You can see how easy is he going to be able to make that move happen. Down on the brakes on the inside, very slow in. There's almost contact between Konechny and Dalton, and that was right in front of Nuno Moreira so easily. It nearly happened. He runs wide there, and Moreira has to get out of the way. That was scary.
I just had a feeling we're going to have to be careful getting through there, and I unfortunately was right. Scary moment for Moreira. This helps Kaya Ruokola, and Ruokola turned the fastest lap last time. We're on the replay now here on board with Moreira.
Yeah, you can see here the run up to the keyhole, slight incline then as you get through, and you can see it all checks up in front and gets out of the way, gets there very, very nicely out of it there as he moved forward into it. So a very good job that we saw then from the driver of Nuno Moreira. Now though, we look at this one again, and there's more traffic here, and that's again Matt Carballo then trying to get out of the way here, and he has been trouble in, and now Moreira's caught then as he just uses Nora Lampe as an advantage point to get himself down the inside. Now Moreira's back again. Nora Lampe needs to do a lot more work.
Oh, this is going to be fun, Jake. This is going to be fun. 8 laps to go. And, well, Nuno, let's face it, for all practical purposes, has caught Nora Lampe.
Yeah, there's no real kidding yourself. You can see a different line being taken there. Was a lot sharper in, but look how much better out was the driver of Juha Nora Lampe through that corner. 2 contrasting lines, and they each served a purpose going through. Moreira trying to play scare tactics. Nora Lampe's going to say, try and catch me if you can. They're weaving on the straights here to try and break the draft is Nora Lampe, but he stays ahead just for the moment. But Moreira is sat there and is waiting very, very patiently. There is blood in the water, and Moreira can sniff it.
He certainly can. It's just going to need a little bit of patience. Nuno, I don't know. Nuno hasn't always shown a lot of patience here, so we're going to see if he can pull this off. It's going to be a tough ask, and it's really going to be an even tougher ask when Ruokola gets up into this battle, because I don't think Ruokola's done by any stretch of the imagination yet.
No, and that gap was 2.6 the last time by, but look again at Nora Lampe. He just knows how to break away here. That gap was half a second. That gap now is opened up to 0.6, and for Moreira, he just doesn't seem to be able to close it there. That time was a 14.1, a 13.9 from Nora Lampe, and only a 14.4 though from Ruokola. So Ruokola loses a lot of time then in that section of circuit. So, you know, now we're starting to see here towards the end of this event, Drivers now trying to work out, who do I fight with? Where do I go? Jamie Hall has made the position through on Thorsten Cowell, and actually Daniel Banker's lost the position to John Stevens in the very, very back of your pack. They will be the cars that get lapped next before the end of the race, Sean.
Yeah, you know what? And I was looking ahead to that pack. Journo going to have to be really, really careful. That's a lot of cars up there in front of him that he is going to catch before this race is over, and managing that traffic could be the key to this race.
It certainly can here, and they're all 4 cars line astern at the moment. No one really in a position to make the move one on another right now. Banker at the back of this one maybe needs to try and pocket a check here, a little bribe to get himself past the driver of John Stevens. That's not going to help him in any stretch of the imagination through turn number 1. He will get a much better run there out of the corner. Struggling with that effect there was John Stevens to the inside. Tries Banker then, and Banker cash that check in. No, he can't then. Down in towards the keyhole. Maybe he needs to set this run up again then through here. No, can't do it for the moment. Frisch though approaching it. Nora Lampe still holding that gap the way he wants.
Yeah, Nora Lampe still, like you said, holding that gap. Stevens though, good battle back up to Nora Lampe here. And I'll tell you what, I don't know, but this traffic I really think is going to be trouble for our leader. I'm worried.
I'm slightly worried and a little bit concerned as well in terms of all of this. Frisch has got to navigate this one then very calmly, very astutely as he comes up towards them. And oh yeah, Sean, you see something?
Yeah, Nuno with a big slide, big slide there, getting out of turn 5 and loses a lot of time. Not a lot of time, but loses a significant amount of space here to Nora Lampe. I think we've got a replay of it here real quick. Yeah, we're on board with Nuno now. He'll get through China Beach, okay, but it's when he tries to get out of it here, the car is going to come around on him.
Yeah, into China Beach very, very nicely, but coming out of China Beach, you can see he gets a whole load of sideways action. Does very well to hold on to the car, but that gap opens up to about 9/10 of a second. Ruocola is charging, though. The gap down to 1.8 to the back of this group, and within a few laps, he might be there, might be trying to get through to this battle that we're seeing right now. So it's not over for Ruocola. We've been saying it. It's not over yet, but it could pretty much be right now in terms of this one for everyone trying to get through. And now you look back, say, Alex Saunders getting incredibly held up right now.
Yeah, boy, that was Peter gets out of the way, but it really held up Saunders there. And Saunders got a lot of work to do if he wants to get to Jerd. Jerd getting through, and nobody in front of him right now has got that clean air to work with. And Saunders again back there having to work through this traffic. It's going to be tough for him to catch it with only just over 4 laps to go now.
4 laps to go, and Journo Frisch then next crosses the line in at that Ferrari livery. He is really put on the pace, and he's put on a show then, and it still proves that a 100% ratio as things currently stand. Those who win the race before win this race as well here on the screens here. And now you're looking at Nuno Moreira again, still not close enough. Nora Lampe again just manages to get past his man right now. But again, Ruocola sets a 13.7 and is trying to set the timing sheets alight right now. Another 1:13.7. And when you look at it, there was only one driver who has been faster than that. And that is your leader right now and championship leader in Journo Frisch. Ruocola, he doesn't need to fight these drivers, but a podium will be so nice. Moreira right on the back.
Boy, and all Ruocola needed was a good qualifying effort and might be fighting for the win right now. But the fight for the podium good enough here, Jake, today, and I think Ruocola's got a good chance here to get in it.
I think he can. He started in position number 11 in qualifying. It was a poor qualifying effort from Ruocola, but that gap has come down. He's been chopping the tree and hoping that he's found a little bit of wood to make some fire out of it, and he's certainly taking the fire right to Moreira, right to Nora Lampe. That will be what they'll both be worrying about with 3 laps to go in this event. For the moment, Nora Lampe holds on to this one for the moment in second here. 6 seconds, though, the gap to the leader. They're losing all that time. The gap now, just 1.1 for Ruocola. He'll get the fringes of the draft this time by here, Sean.
Starting to close it in to get that toe. That's what you need to make this happen. Oh, Ruocola goes sliding in through the keyhole. Didn't seem to hurt the momentum too much, though.
No, it didn't seem to hurt it at all here, and that's going to be very, very useful in terms of the racing that he's got. He's got to make the chase, and he's got to make it happen here in the last few laps of this event. You can see through China Beach goes Nora Lampe, into the left at turn number 5, exiting the China Beach. Turn number 6 here, trying to maximise the most of this corner here. It's a very slow, very lumbering corner under that Honda footbridge, then right again then as they head to the right-hander up this hill. You're just waiting, then you put on the power. That was where Saunders span earlier on. Mistake though for Moreira as he gets a little bit of a half slide there going on, and now Ruacola's right there.
Here comes Ruacola. Moreira gonna regret that slide because now Moreira can't worry about Nora Lampe in front of him. He's got to defend against Ruacola here with 2 laps to go.
He certainly does in this situation, Sean. And well, the one question that I have to be asking you here in this situation, can Ruacola do it? He's been working. The gap is 7/10 with 2 laps to go. Catching is one thing, and in the world of Murrayisms, passing is certainly another.
Time to milk the rooster, as my friend Soup would say.
Oh, it certainly is right now as you're looking at Ruacola trying to close that gap down, and he's not close enough yet, and you can see they're all pretty stretched out. He didn't have the best keyhole in towards the China Beach, and you can see right now he's got to find a little bit more around this circuit, work the invisible time, shall you say, through these sections of lefts and rights. You can't get the move done here, but you can make the time up here, and now you can see just trying to close it in a little bit more into the right, up towards Thunder Valley. This was where Moreira made that mistake a little bit earlier on. Nora Lampe's clear though, and you can see there it's going to be a little bit of traffic for Journo Frisch on the final lap of this event. Needs John Stevens to get out of the way. White flag will be in the air this time by. There is going to be no more opportunities after this one lap. Gap between Moreira and Ruacola for the final spot on the podium sits at just half a second right now as things currently stand here. So now it's going to be a case of can he be close enough heading through turn number 2. Not for the moment here for Nuno Moreira, and it might take a bit of genius. Moreira runs wide though through the mid part of that corner, and Ruacola doesn't get the best of runs then. Coming out of that keyhole, needs to get this run then up towards China Beach, otherwise he's looking for something very, very nouveau riche to make that move. No, not close enough then into the China Beach section then for Kai Ruacola, and that is not what Kali Ruacola was really needing here. Moreira holding on to it and holding on to the championship second place as things currently stand, but you can see how much that gap closes in up through Thunder Valley, and out of the way gets Thorsten Cowell with a big mistake, and you can see Stevens now will try and make that move on their final lap as they've just been lapped. But look at this one, Journo Frisch, round the carousel, and with 1 corner to go, you're going to be a winner now after 3 consecutive second places. It's been a long time coming, but Journo Frisch wins in Mid-Ohio and dominates the event the way he wanted to. Second for Nora Lampe, third for Moreira. Ruacola couldn't do it.
Could not do it. Have to settle for 4th today. Evan Merrill is going to come across with a 5th place finish today. Great job by Evan Merrill. Jared Hoffer is going to get that 6th place, and Alex Saunders, for all the work he put in, is going to have to settle for 7th. Not his best run today.
Not his best run at all. Of course, we still have a couple more battles then trying to get themselves to work. QC Clap here, and also the driver Mark Mucky here, just still trying to get themselves in through those final sections. There is about a second between the pair of them, and for Clap, he's just not close enough here, and that gap will dissipate then. And you can see it's just been a great work here. We've still seen that we've only lost about 4 or 5 cars from this event. Everyone was playing for safety rating and I rating here, Sean, and they've done a very good job.
Boy, they really have. This, aside from that opening lap, and let's face it, opening laps are always a handful. We had a great race out here today. Very, very competitive. Boy, hats off to Ruacola for the work put in there to pick up all those spots and really be a threat there at the end.
Certainly was, and well, for the time being, we're going to step aside here at the Global Sim Racing channel. When we come back, post-race coverage coming to you after this. And with that, the racing comes to an end here at Mid-Ohio. And Mid-Ohio proved the action would work once again. Let's get a rundown then of your final grids and results then that we have been seeing around this fantastic circuit in Lexington, Ohio. The number one of Jarno Frisch proves he is number one for the first time this season, surprisingly. He takes the win by just a shade over 3 seconds from Juha Noralampi in second. Nuno Moreira will come home in third overall with Kai Ruokola. Evan Merrill there, fifth position on what is a debut to us here in the series, doing a very, very good job, a very experienced driver, with Gerd Hofner in sixth. Alex Saunders will come home in seventh with Andrea Ventura, proving that he could make everything work for him. -1 though for the day in eighth, with Michel Vandenberg ninth and Philip Lake rounding out the top 10.
All right, then we're going to go back to 11th. Matt Wood had some trouble, got a little damage on the car, but manages to salvage that 11th place finish today. Nicola Kochi going to finish 12th. That's a pretty good run, up 5 spots to get there. Mark Munkey, the Pennsylvania driver, going to finish 13th today. QC Platt, 14th, came up from 20th to get there. Not a bad run by QC. Jamie Hall going to finish 15th. Thorsten Kahl, 16th. 17th going to go to John Stevens. 18th, Daniel Banker. Timothy Dalton, 19th. And 20th, going to go to Peter Konezny. I think it's Konezny.
You think it's Konezny? You've got to hope it's Konezny.
I think it is. We're going to go with that.
21st then, playing the blackjack role, is Francisco Javier Gutierrez there with João Milani there in 22nd. Matt Caballo managed to get lapped quite a fair bit there during that race, finishing in 23rd with Lino Duprat in 24th. And there you see the cars getting further lapped down and out of the event. The likes of Joseph Wheatley, Richard Borchers there in troubles, Nick Kamensky running into issues 14 laps from the end. And then the likes of AJ Bear, not quite the phenomenal one here this afternoon. Robert Simpkins in at 29th, 30th for Pablo Lumbrera Suarez, and Marcus Kramer failing to make the start. We do have some drivers standing by with us for interview right now. I'm just going to drag in Jarno Frisch to join us alongside. Jarno, it's your first win in the series. It's one that's been a long time coming, but it's one that is thoroughly well-deserved.
Yeah, thank you very much. It was a really good race for me. So after coming home in second place for a couple of times now, it's about time to be on top for once. So quite happy with that.
Certainly have to be quite happy. And in the opening stages for you, you seemed pretty much unchallenged throughout the entirety of the event. You were not really made it into an overtaking opportunity once, and you just tried to pull away, and well, it seemed to all work in your favour.
Yeah, I knew it would be very important to have good qualifying, so it was good to start from pole position. Then I was pushing a lot in the beginning, and could open a small gap, and then I was in control, I think so.
Certainly are, and well, you lead the championship here, and for you, this championship is all about consistency. It's all about plugging in, getting the results that you need time after time after time. With drivers like Moreira, who's been a little bit inconsistent all week, drivers struggling, Ruocola's been inconsistent all week for you. You're heading over towards halfway in the next 2 rounds. Are you feeling confident moving in through again?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to next week. Should be good as well, hopefully. You're perfectly right. Winning a championship has to be done with consistency. So this season started quite well for me. On the other hand, I still need to make some really good points during some weeks.
Certainly do. And well, is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out or thanks to then for your victory this afternoon?
Yeah, thanks to everyone running here. Was a fun week. Many cars on track on a small track, so it all went well. So see you next week. Bye bye.
Jarno Frisch then, your race winner here, as Sean, you're standing by with the driver who came home in second overall in Juha Noralampi.
Yes, Juha Noralampi. What a run today. I want to ask you about the closing laps of the race, holding off Nuno Moreira. That had to be fun.
Well, yes, thank you very much. It was a great race, and we have a great battle with Nuno, and I'm so glad that I could manage to take front row for the qualifying, and that's the key to manage here to podium as well.
Now, with a small track like Mid Ohio is, and finding the traffic, the back of the field, real quickly, what was it like navigating through the traffic today?
Well, we have I don't recall, was it 31 or 32 cars? Okay, but there was a lot of cars and short track, and I'm very thankful for all the guys that we overtake, because it's always a risky move to approach somebody you don't even know how he's going to react. There was one person, I don't know what was his name, but he I don't think he just realized that I was behind him, and the Nuno get me right at my tail, and I have a great base, and I thought that Nuno can't overtake me because I had a good car setup and enough straight line speed as well.
Well, hey, listen, we're happy to have you on the podium. Is there anybody you'd like to thank today for this run?
Well, I'm glad that I could drive. I haven't been able to practice last weeks very good, because I have this disease. As you have seen my car, there is sponsorships, as if I can say, it's to help cure this chronic fatigue syndrome, and I have had that disease, and that makes me a little bit poor to concentrate, and weak in muscle pain, with muscle pains and anything like that. But I'm very blessed to be at this condition, and I'm glad, and I want to thank God and everyone who is supporting me, and I must congratulate also Gernot for the win. He was very fast today, as he is always, and I think he has better tire pressures at the beginning, because he could get away with few laps much more pace than I had, because I have a low tire pressures. But anyway, thanks for being here, and thanks for the broadcast to you. See you. Bye.
Okay, and thanks to Juha, and we certainly we support him and his cause there. Look it up, CFS here. See how you can help him out and lend some support to finding a cure for that disease. But Jake, well, I think you've caught up with Nuno Moreira, and want to have a talk with him, definitely.
I have, and Nuno, third place for you. Championship points go away again from you as Jono Frisch takes the victory today. A good qualifying, but the race pace maybe a little bit lacking for you today.
Hey guys, yeah, definitely. Well, at least no. It was a great surprise in qualifying, because I had to abort my second lap, and I was getting faster, and I did a mistake. So I was expecting to start from 10th or something similar. So P3 at the grid was great news. And then during the race, I had nothing against you. Just a good close up when the back markers did some delayed him a little bit, but he had great pace, and it was good to get to P3. I think it was the best I could do in this circuit, which isn't one of my favorite ones also. So great result.
A great result for you there, Nuno, and of course, you know, you're finding yourself in a situation, you're in that championship battle with Jono Frisch, a driver who has been incredibly consistent over the 4 weeks that we've had right now for you. Consistency value, it's been up and down a little bit here during the weeks, but you know, you're starting to find your stride right now, and the confidence is surely showing.
Well, yeah. This weekend went much better than I expected. So yeah, at one of the 4 races, I had this Donington, if I'm not mistaken, was not good. But all the other 2 I won, and this one is a P3. So we're there for Geno again.
You're certainly there, and of course it's Canadian Tire Motorsports Park next time, Motorsport in Canada. Very fast flowing circuit. It's very difficult to really get the positions made. and it is going to be very heavy on that aerodynamic effect through the opening few corners. For you, how key will track position be when you get to Motorsport?
Yeah, Mosport is a great circuit. It's one where the Lotus 79 really shines, and I think we all love that kind of circuit. So it's going to be very interesting, and of course, qualifying will be key for the race. But I'm sure there will be overtakes there, because we have raced there many times, and it's always interesting. It is a great venue for sure.
It certainly is. And well, before we let you go, is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to for third place this afternoon?
Everyone that raced, as always. You guys also for the great work that you have been doing on the broadcasts. I've been listening to them all and comparing these to seeing the F1, which I woke up at 6 a.m. in the morning to see that boring race. Well, this one is much better. So, thank you guys.
Thank you, Nuno.
Thank you. Thank you also to Jua and Gruno, which were overperforming this weekend, and they were great drivers. So congratulations to them also.
Nuno Moreira then joining us from the Ligier team, finishes home in third position overall, but unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, that is all we are going to have time for then this evening. We have to give a big shout out and thank you to all of you who have been watching this action here this afternoon, and to all the drivers and the teams of the Classic Team Championship for their stunning battles and their decision to fly GSRC. Thank yous also have to go out to the companies, equipment and software that has been involved or affiliate with this afternoon's broadcast. We wouldn't have been able to have done this without them. We'd also like to thank Eric Ekholm and Casey Lalonde for the music that you have been hearing this afternoon. Details on how to contact them, they are on screen right now. And speaking about contacts, if you're wishing to have your series broadcast or just want to find out when the next dose of sim racing action or otherwise is live, pop over to theglobalsimracingchannel.com or check us out on social media with the Twitter handle @GSR Channel, or catch us on Facebook as the Global Sim Racing Channel. In 1 week's time, we'll be over the border into Canada as Mosport will be there for an all-out slobber knocker. But, as always, that has been Sean Ambrose to my left, that's been Joe Peak there behind the desk, and that has been Dougie Beard behind the cameras as well. I've been Jake Sperry, and there is no real opportunity that really gears you up for a race like this. And for Journo Frisch, consistency is there, and now he's got the winning bug. Remember, race clean, race hard, and we'll see you on the track. Good afternoon.